I think they should have the Randy Orton Open Challenge every year. Have no opponent for Randy Orton. Who's going to face Randy Orton? A lot of speculation on who it might be.
20th anniversary.
That's right. Some people were saying Rusev. I was saying Malachi Black. But who do we get? We got Joe Hendry. And to talk about that match and that WrestleMania moment, your TNA World Champion, Mr. Joe Hendry. What's up, Joe?
One introduction. Thank you.
He's got magical powers like The Undertaker.
Man, that scared the shit out of me. He just appeared.
Mark was sleeping.
And he woke me up.
I was chilling in the hotel room, and then you said my name, and I just teleported.
Good thing you were dressed.
Appreciate you doing that. And Joe, first and foremost, and I feel like I say this every time we have you on, congratulations, because the year that you've had, you win the TNA World Championship, you make an appearance at the Royal Rumble in Indy, and then you have a WrestleMania match here in Las Vegas. Like, you talk about 2025. Wow, Joe. Wow.
Hey, Dave, the highlight of that is did a tour in Europe with me DJing. Was on stage.
Main event at NXT.
Just
How's the head over
all right, hold on. All right.
We collaborated on, I believe, in Mark Henry.
Your music hits. You hear the pop. What was it like?
It was unfathomable. Even more so than Rumble, because this is like, the Rumble's got 30 spots. Could be this guy, could be that guy. This is wrestling Randy Orton at WrestleMania in his 20th WrestleMania. I'm watching the video package and I'm going, holy smokes. It's weird. I was chill the entire time until we got close to the venue. And I'm in Gorilla. I'm still chill. I'm good. And then I'm watching the video package and I'm going. And then they load. So the thing is, we got the option at Rumble. I just walk out. Whereas I was on NXT, they load me beforehand. And then you do the spin. And they're telling me the doors are going to open. Do you want to load? I'm like, yeah. And so we do the spin. And I'm like, we're going to get to do the spin at WrestleMania. The doors open. The music hits. Spin around. I'm thinking, what is going on? That's what I love about this business now, is it's just anything can happen. And for me to be given that opportunity is something I'm extremely grateful for. And man, you guys know what it's like. You guys know what it's like. I wish people could feel what that's like,
When your segment ended last night, I picked up my Twitter machine and I typed in the rub of all rubs.
Yeah.
That was an incredible moment, but I want to take you through the highs and maybe the perceived lows. I don't know. I want to get your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you're the big surprise. The doors open. You spin around. There you are, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. You got a hell of a pop, and that wasn't a pop fed into the audience. That was a legit cheers for you, because those people know who you are. You get to walk the ramp at WrestleMania. You get to step in the ring with Randy Orton. Positive, positive, positive. You have your match. Lack of a better word, glorified squash? Yes, no, or maybe?
I disagree.
Okay, what would you call it? Tell me.
So a squash, like, the thing is, the offense was back and forth.
Okay.
Whereas a squash, to me, it could have been ding ding, RKO, and there you go.
Okay.
For me, what I was thinking about was, look, my different title reigns are defined by different things. When Josh Alexander was TNA World Champion, it was classic match. My job as TNA Champion, and what defines this reign, is business. It's getting as many eyeballs on TNA wrestling as possible. You know who else lost quickly in WrestleMania in similar fashion? John Cena. And what am I going to all of a sudden say I'm too good to do that? That was, to me, that's exactly how it should have gone. It's Randy Orton's 20.
I thought it was a feature, Joe.
Yes, I agree.
I thought it was a feature match.
And actually, do you know what CM Punk told me? We had a great conversation afterwards, and CM Punk told me that was exactly how it should have gone. And if it had gone longer, I think it would have worked out worse for me. There is no shame in taking the RKO and losing to a legend like Randy Orton.
Dave?
I'm the TNA World Champion. It's my job to rebuild.
Great answer, and I'm detecting something in your answer that I've never heard before. You are very confident about what you just said.
Yeah.
The confidence that's coming out of your mouth right now, I've not heard from you before. You have different tone, different inflection. Last night did something to you, didn't it?
100%.
What did it do to you?
John Cena said it this morning. He was on Pat McAfee's show, and he said, I think Joe Hendry is going to be a major player. And he made me believe that. Me and John Cena had another conversation last night that reinforced that for me. When John Cena won the championship, I was walking through back to the little room that I had, and John Cena, the camera crew's filming him. He's just won the championship. And he comes over to me, and we had a conversation. Very similar to what he said on Pat McAfee, and he was like, you did exactly what I told you to do at the Rumble, and you were great tonight. And you're going to be a major player.
Excellent.
I think you already are a major player. One of the things that being in front of a crowd like that, it boosts your confidence and it shows you belong. Like you're not just another wrestler. Like you're Joe Hendry. And we talked about this when you won the title. Like there's going to be an elevation period that you're going to go through, and then it's going to get lonely at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be quiet. Mm-hmm. Like you're not going to have other people around. You're going to be in private cars. Mm-hmm. You're going to need to do upfronts in New York and Los Angeles, and you're going to put you on a plane by yourself. Mm-hmm. Like there's stuff that's going to happen, and you got to be ready for it. Did you ever think that when you started this run of I want to do better and be better, that it would happen this fast?
No. Honestly, like I had the highest aspirations for myself, but never this speed. What's crazy, I want to tell you guys two things. After the last Rumble, I walked in to the people I train with back home, and I said, mark my words, I'll be in that next Rumble. You watch what I do, and you emulate it, because I'm going to do it. And I did it. And I remember watching the last Mania, and I just had this feeling. I was by myself, but I went, I should be there. I should be there. And it's happening. It's unfolding. Wow. I never thought it'd be possible at this speed. Last year, that's when the song started to gain traction because people were talking about it around WrestleMania time. And that's what gave me the idea, maybe now it's time to release it. I released this song on April 29th. We're not even a calendar year forward. Wow. And all these things have happened. WrestleMania match with Randy Orton. Main event, No Mercy. I have an N64 cartridge of No Mercy, and I main evented No Mercy. I had WWE's most watched viral video on X last year. TNA World Champion. And you know, I believe that I've contributed to TNA wrestling. It's a team effort. Like, I mean, we have to put over the Hardys as well. They are huge drivers of business for TNA, but I feel honored to have a seat at that table. I feel like I've made a positive contribution.
Joe, we did a master's class a couple of years ago out in LA about the significance of being a part of WrestleMania. And you truly don't know what success is until you're a part of WrestleMania. It kind of solidifies and puts a stamp of approval on your career. Did you kind of feel that last night, that like almost like, all right, now I understand what it's like?
To be completely honest with you, something I really struggled with was there was almost a numb feeling because it was like, it was just so beyond what I can compute in my head. There was a period of time where I just couldn't really process what had happened. It wasn't until I was, just on social media and I saw the moment where I did the spin and here comes Randy out of shot and hits the RKO, and watching that, it was like, oh, I that was me. I took part in that. It was almost like this abstract concept, but I had a lot of amazing conversations with a lot of people that I respect who were very pleased about how things went. And now my job is to translate that into business for TNA Wrestling.
To answer a bunch of questions, confidence for Joe, peel the curtain back. Joe, I work with him all the time.
Yep.
And I have been very hard on you at times, correct?
Yes.
But because I know how great this man is and can be. We had a disagreement, San Antonio, Texas. He came to me with an idea and I looked him dead in the eyes. If you are Right? Awesome. If you're wrong, I can't trust it. He was right. I said it to like a man right to his face. You were right. Your idea was better than mine. And he showed that confidence. And then once he beat Nic Nemeth, and I talked to him all the time after his matches, and I think I just said to him, I was like, hey man, you carry yourself now, and he's like, and I asked him, how was that guy, as opposed to other people want to be like, how's Joe? And then your other thing, when you talk about, I'll share a text that I sent to him yesterday. I go, you did effing great. Very proud to be a part of your Believe movement. Awesome moment and match. And if there's anybody who's going to get pissed about anything, it would have been me. And I loved it. It's my now officially third favorite RKO out of nowhere, because we talked about it yesterday about waiting to get something. And he just had his smile, and then WWE camera work out of nowhere is how it's supposed to be, and takes it. It was an awesome moment. And again, that rush, we all live for it. You've got to experience it. Everybody here on this panel has got to experience. I know you will have more, but man, I was like, this is how it's supposed to be. And when people, because you read, and I don't buy into anything social media, but I was just like, oh, well, he's the TNA champion. There goes TNA. And I'm like, absolutely not, because Moose lost in a match where, and it never affected Moose. And I don't think it's going to affect Joe at all, as well as you have Backlash, and we have a pay-per-view coming up.
Losses don't affect a wrestler's story. The story affects a wrestler. That's why we was talking about the main event. It wasn't the fact that John Cena won. It's how he won.
Right.
It's the story.
What I'm interested in, Joe, is, and I definitely detect the chip on your shoulder this morning, but it's a good chip, and everybody needs to have a chip on their shoulder in this business. Learn that from Vince McMahon. But, they always talk about pro wrestling being a drug. I don't know if your generation has heard this, but obviously ours has. Once this is your life, it's hard to get away from it. Now it's becoming more of your life, and now you've had a taste of the two biggest stages in the WWE, the Rumble and Mania with Randy Orton. It's in you now.
Yeah.
How easy or difficult is it to go back to TNA and defend that World Heavyweight Championship?
And I'm going to be completely honest and completely real with you guys, right? I have to be honest. I had a change in mindset right before all this took off. It used to be about, I want this, I want the title, I want to work here, I want to work there. Now, honestly, being completely real, that does not exist. All I'm focused on is I'm like, what value do I bring? What's the biggest reaction I can get? So in that spot with Randy, I wasn't thinking, what's the most I can get? I was thinking, what's going to be the most viral moment? And that viral moment was the spin and the RKO. So what I'm thinking about is now the challenge for me is not, when can I get another moment? It's about, right, how can I take this and make money for TNA Wrestling?
So convince the four of us why the second RKO was a good thing, because earlier in the show, we all agreed that it wasn't such a good thing.
I personally disagree, because if you remember when Matt Riddle was tag team partners with Randy Orton, he was welcomed to the club. It was like, hey, you're here. That was like an initiation. It was like he took he took a lot of those secondary RKOs and he got the pat, and it's like, you're here. You're part of the team. And again, to me, that was, can I ask you why you think that wasn't a good thing?
I'm going to let Mark Henry answer, because I just stole his question.
No, it wasn't really for me. I wanted Dave to get into that with you, because the perception of it wasn't necessary. I would have liked to seen you get up and maybe get the arm raised and actually act like he was going to give you another one and go, nah, and pat you on the back, because that's the way that I think. I think more positive than negative. But from looking at stuff on the internet, the fans didn't like that. And I asked Dave, I said, what did you think? And
I would have liked to have seen the arm be raised.
Right.
You know,
Well, we did
personally,
see that.
myself,
We didn't end on that.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like that would have been
but
to
no
me.
second RKO.
Yeah, that I would have loved it because it's almost like, wow, kid, you really got yourself over. You took advantage of that moment, and maybe that's Randy Orton's way of saying it to you by giving you that second RKO.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. And also, what did he do after the RKO? He did my spin and then did his pose, and he
did give you the pat on the chest.
Yes, and as John Cena said this morning, he says we got an introduction to Joe Hendry last night, and Randy doing that reinforces the things that I do.
All right.
1,000%. Also think of if Steve Austin didn't give an extra stunner. Think of Randy Orton. He's the Viper. You can't trust him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. You're a boss in TNA. How did you feel about the second RKO?
At first, when I saw it, I was just like, not necessary. But then also hearing, and the other part of this, the whole time I kept saying, man, there is connective tissue now with Joe and Randy. I also know that Backlash, and I'm like, man, Randy had a tag team partner that was really unique to Randy, and I couldn't remember until Joe just told me, and it was Matt Riddle. And I was like, there is connective tissue with this type of character that Joe is and this type of character that Randy is, and I'm like, there's money there.
And I got it.
And hang on, there's also where there's a pay-per-view next Sunday, Rebellion, where it's a 10,000 seat venue, and I'm like, is Randy Orton going to show up? What's going to happen on that side? Also, there's all these different things. Then I start thinking Backlash. Then I just, listen, I'm also friends with Joe, and I'm like, I couldn't be prouder of him. But then I'm also like, think of all these things, like where TNA could get represented here or there, or again, it's the grandest stage of them all. And my thinking has changed because of the whole stuff with Moose. Moose lost clean to Obafemi, and not one person, when Moose goes to the ring, you lost to Obafemi. That X Division title means nothing. It's a different time, and sometimes you have to think a little bit differently. And Joe's also explanation has sold me on everything has been the right call. And then also for the people that have talked to him, and straight off from my text, I know it's right because all these same people are talking the same way.
I think the answer was amazing, and it gives a definitive other perspective to look at this at, and you seem very comfortable with it. I forgot my question.
Well, let me jump in because
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? And Tommy, we don't need to reveal who it is, but I know you know who I'm going to be speaking about here because this person told me that you guys had a conversation. You said you wonder who might show up at Rebellion. One of the WWE megastars who has a tour bus told me they wanted to show up to Rebellion with their tour bus.
Now I remember what I was going to say is
what they wanted to do. We've got WWE megastars who want to get involved.
Good, because I hope it's not John Cena anymore. The last time you were on this show, what'd you pop?
No.
You were trying to manifest John Cena.
You don't think I'm going to wrestle John Cena?
I want to see you wrestle Randy Orton.
You don't think I'm going to wrestle John Cena?
You better knock the fucking bass out of your voice. That's first of all when you talk to me.
Or what?
No, now I want to see you and Randy on TNA turf.
Yes.
Early on, there were some rumblings that it may be you, but as we got closer to WrestleMania, other names came into the picture.
If you look at the betting odds, I wasn't even an option. There was 10 guys and then other.
So kudos to Dreamer. Yesterday we were talking about who could be and out of nowhere, your name popped out into my head. I had no idea, and I said, I know this is going to sound crazy, guys. And I looked right at him, and I went, Joe Hendry. And look, with the bags under his eyes and the fat jowls, that's exactly how he looked at me. But I know in his brain he was like going, Newman, like Bubba, because that outside of the box idea is stuff that I love. And I thought you did a phenomenal job. The only thing I questioned, that second RKO, you loved it. You said it's the viral moment.
Yep.
Yeah, Mark.
I wanted to commend you. I wanted to commend you again on your body and how much work you putting in. Like, keep working, man.
Thank you.
Like, you could be one of the top 5 guys in this industry. You're already in the top 10.
Yep. Thank you.
Like, you can move up there with Punk now. Like, and everybody don't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
So when you want to eat that sandwich or that pizza, throw that shit down.
Let
when
me
you
tell
want to get on that treadmill, like I
Yeah.
want you to be the best. I want you to be the guy.
I didn't eat much for like a week. I was like, I'm gonna have to stand. I'm gonna have to be half naked against Randy Orton. I was like, I gotta take care of this situation.
Hey,
so,
last for me, where can we get this new WrestleMania Joe Hendry?
yeah, so
Yeah.
this is awesome. So there's a couple of really cool moments. So we got this, say his name, and he appears WrestleMania shirt. So you can imagine I'm in this little hidden room. By the way, I was in full disguise. I was looking like Inspector Gadget going around Las Vegas. Right? I'm talking the glasses, the mask, the hoodie. I looked ridiculous. But we managed to get me in without people seeing. And we
That's
got to
so
this,
good.
We got to this little room, and then they came in and they were like, "Here's your shirt." Didn't know there was going to be a shirt.